You walk into Best Buy, ask the guy in the blue shirt for a good drone, and walk out $460 poorer than you needed to be. That's not an accident. The average American leaves that store with a DJI Mini 4 Pro at $759. Meanwhile, engineers, search and rescue volunteers, and working cinematographers have been doing serious professional-level work with drones under $300 for years. Consistently. And almost nobody's talking about it. Here's what this video is going to do. I'll give you 5 specific drones, names, real prices, and use cases you can verify yourself. They circulate constantly in communities like RR's Drones, Autel FPV, and RC groups, where people who actually fly talk. The reason you haven't seen them on mainstream YouTube is simple. Affiliate commissions on cheaper drones are a fraction of what you earn pushing expensive ones. That shapes what gets covered. Starting now with number 1. First up, the Holy Stone HS720E, between $189 and $229 on Amazon. 4K UHD with electronic image stabilization, brushless motors, GPS hover, and auto return to home, 23 minutes per battery. Here's what's interesting. It runs the u-blox M8N GPS chip found in drones costing 3 to 4 times more. AUVSI documented rural search and rescue teams using Holy Stone GPS drones for initial area sweeps before deploying thermal units. Hits 500 grams, so FAA registration applies. $5. DJI affiliate channels call it a toy. Check their description links first. If you didn't know that a $199 drone uses the same GPS chip as drones costing $800, hit that like button right now. And if you want the other 4 drones on this list, you need to stay right here. Let's keep going. Number 2 is the DJI Mini 2 SE at $299. Exactly at the ceiling of this list. 2.7K video, 12 megapixel stills, 31 minutes of flight time. The critical number is 249 grams. Way under that, and recreational pilots skip FAA registration entirely. A threshold DJI deliberately engineered the Mini line to stay 1 gram below. OcuSync's dual-frequency switching eliminates the signal drops that plague standard Wi-Fi drones. Dirty angle. Best Buy reps are trained to push you toward the Mini 4 Pro at $759. The drone at number 5 on this list has no camera for landscapes. It was built for something completely different. And it's the only drone here that's been documented in actual combat during a war in Europe. It costs less than $250. I'll get there before this video ends. Number 5 is the Potensic Atom SE, the most overlooked drone in this market. Under 250 grams, 31 minutes of flight, and a 3-axis mechanical gimbal you won't find on anything else under $300. Before I show you the actual dollar math on how fast each of these drones pays for itself, I need to warn you about the 5 mistakes that cause beginners to lose their drones in the first week. That's coming up in about 2 minutes. Autel Robotics is American, headquartered in Bothell, Washington, and that matters. After the DoD flagged DJI as a Chinese military company, agencies across the country migrated to Autel. That credibility, no marketing budget can buy. All the other drones on this list are aerial cameras. This one is different. The BetaFPV Pavo 25 is an FPV freestyle machine, first-person view, capable of speeds above 120 miles per hour in manual mode, weighing between 75 and 90 grams with a whoop frame and propeller guards for indoor and outdoor flight, priced between $169 and $249. That matters more than you think. Whoop design FPV drones were documented in active use by Ukrainian forces for reconnaissance and attack missions, covered by the BBC, The Wall Street Journal, and Reuters in 2022 and 2023. $200 of hobbyist technology became a geopolitically significant weapon. Professional FPV cinematographers charge $500 to $2,000 a day. FAA note: flying FPV with goggles requires a visual observer present at all times. Number 5 is the B-Day FPV Pavo 25, a completely different category of machine. Price runs from $169 to $249 depending on configuration. It's an FPV drone with a whoop-style frame and propeller guards for indoor and outdoor use, weighing under 100 grams with battery. In manual mode, it exceeds 120 miles per hour, documented in community benchmarks on RC Groups and Rotor Riot. Here's what makes it historically significant. Whoop-style FPV technology was documented in active use by Ukrainian forces during the 2022 conflict, reported by the BBC and Reuters. A $200 hobbyist tool became a geopolitically significant weapon system. On the career side, professional FPV cinematographers charge $500 to $2,000 per day. 249 grams isn't arbitrary. Physics drove that FAA threshold. A 249G drone at 10 meters per second hits with half the kinetic force of a 500-grainer drone. And that 4K EIS label? Software cropping costs you 10 to 15% of your frame every single shot. The difference between the Mini 2 SE at $289 and the Mini 4 Pro at $759 is exactly $460. For beginners or recreational flyers, the practical gap is minimal. That $460 saved buys 2 extra batteries, a carry case, a starter FPV quad, and an FAA Part 107 prep course. If you're shooting real estate, NAR 2022 data shows listings with aerial photography sell 68% faster. At $250 to $500 per session, a $299 drone pays for itself on the first job. Before I walk you through the full 5 drone comparison, I need to warn you about the mistakes that cause beginners to lose their drones in week 1. 5 mistakes that will end your drone and possibly your career. 1. Flying over people or moving vehicles is illegal without a waiver under CFR Part 107.39. 2. Posting monetized footage means you are operating commercially, which requires an FAA Part 107 certificate. 3. Under 250 grams does not mean no rules. You still need authorization for controlled airspace through FAA Drone Zone or the B4UFLE app, both free. 4. Non-certified LiPo batteries cause fires. The CPSC has documented this with drones and e-bikes, so always use manufacturer batteries. 5. Weather apps show sustained wind, not gusts. Gusts run 30 to 50% higher, and that is exactly how a $200 drone ends up in a tree. The GPS in your $200 Holy Stone was built by the U.S. Department of Defense and opened to civilians by President Reagan in 1983 after the KAL-007 tragedy. The Academy of Model Aeronautics, founded in Chicago in 1936, is the direct line between hobby RC planes and today's drone market. The same country that invented GPS, military UAVs, and the world's largest consumer drone market still tells buyers they need $1,000 to participate. That gap between what experts know and what the market sells you is exactly why this channel exists. Here's something worth sitting with. The GPS chip in your $199 Holy Stone was developed by the U.S. Department of Defense. President Reagan made it available for civilian use in 1983, documented as a public executive order. The Academy of Model Aeronautics, founded in 1936, had over 185,000 members before the drone era began. The country that invented GPS and built the largest consumer drone market on the planet has let its own consumers believe they need to spend $1,000 to participate. That gap is built on commission structures, not technical reality. Complete beginner with GPS? The Holy Stone HS720E is your safest entry. Forgiving and built for mistakes. Want to fly in the city without paperwork? The DJI Mini 2 SE stays under 250 grams and handles urban interference better than anything here. If image quality is your priority, the Potensic Atom SE is the only drone in this price range with a true 3-axis mechanical gimbal. Prefer American-made with serious camera power. The Autel Evo Nano Plus delivers 50 megapixels and DoD backing. Want to build a monetizable skill? The BetaFPV Pavo 25 is your path. That learning curve separates amateurs from professionals. The market for $1,000 drones runs on affiliate commissions, not technical necessity. These 5 models are what circulates in subreddits with 200,000 members, in pilot Discord servers, and on RC groups, far from YouTube algorithms optimized for clicks. The technology Navy SAR teams use is available under $300. The GPS the Reagan administration released to the world in 1983 is in your $199 drone. That information always existed. Now you know where to find it. The technology U.S. Navy contractors and SAR teams rely on costs under $300. The GPS Ronald Reagan opened to the world in 1983 is inside a drone on Amazon for under $200. None of this was hidden. It was just never in your feed. You just got the information that the $1,000 drone industry spends real marketing budget to keep off your screen. If this video saved you even $200 today, hit that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's about to walk into Best Buy and make a $460 mistake.